Okay, tonight we are going to continue with the application of Kyusho principles. The other day we did adding principles on top of the cycle of destruction. Right? And that's the very basic level of doing it. And I likened it to building a building, right? Because you have the foundation, the part that's underground, and then you have the structure of the building, and then the roof are the extra principles. So we're doing the structure of the building now. But this is complicated stuff. This is not beginner stuff at all. And the base that we're going to work off of is referred to in acupuncture and in Kyusho as the 24-hour diurnal cycle. Your body has a clock. And we just went on daylight savings time, and that can mess people up. If you travel across east or west, you violate the 24-hour clock, and you will, depending on how far you travel, you will suffer from what they refer to as jet lag, which is a bad term, but it's because the clock is out. Now in acupuncture, that clock, the time on that clock is very important. In Kyusho, not so much. You can't use it. We're actually going to use it today. It is about we're going to have about 2010, I think, 2005, or 8 p.m., I think, in the other time. But that makes it the time of the organ of pericardium, which is the middle finger, right? It's the pericardium finger. That organ is currently in the process of rebooting, for lack of a better term. And each organ has a 2-hour period in a 24-hour clock in which it is considered to be in a reboot phase, or most active. But that's a point of view. And that point of view actually doesn't really matter for us either. Whether the energy is high or low, the important part is that the energy flow of the body. So the next one at 9 o'clock, we go into triple warmer time, in which the endocrine system of the body restarts itself. So the direction of flow, and we'll just discuss the whole direction of flow. The clock starts at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. till 5 a.m. is the lung meridian. Then it flows into large intestine. Then it goes to stomach, to spleen, to heart, to small intestine, to bladder, kidney, pericardium, triple warmer, gallbladder, and the liver. And that completes a 24-hour cycle. And that is the direction of energy flow. And that's what matters, is the direction of energy flow as we look at it. So if we take a look at doing something within the 24-hour cycle to her body that she's going to feel, right? If I take hold of pericardium finger, well, actually let's take pericardium at the wrist, right? If I activate pericardium at the wrist, I'll use pericardium 6. Actually, we're not going to do that before. Do you feel this one much? A little bit? Tiny bit? But if I activate pericardium 6 here, and I go up to here, she feels it a whole lot more, right? Because I'm affecting, I'm going to triple warmer, sorry, I'm affecting the flow of energy, right, directly. I'm not using the cycle of destruction because I'm still within fire, right? So again, we take this off. No big deal. Touch this, come back up, touch here, much different, right? It's hotter, be the correct word. Now, are there visitors outside? Now, if I add the cycle of destruction to that, right? If I layer the cycle of destruction to that, then I get a different result. So, if I affect here, then we go to, we're still in fire. If I go back, in this case, to large intestine, I get a large reaction from the body. You become very compliant to it. Compared to if I just grab your wrist here and I try to move you, you don't react quite so violently. Right? What if I continue along the cycle, the 24-hour cycle? Right? So I activate here, when I go to here, she reacts very strongly, but then if I come down into here, into gallbladder, which is the next one of the cycle, it's very strong. You mentioned if I hit you there, you'd be out cold. Right? But yet, nothing. So, right, there's no reaction to it. But if I affect the flow, because pericardium goes to triple warmer, oh, triple warmer 17, gallbladder 21, and that's basically because I've damaged the energy there. But what if I've just simply, all I've used is a diurnal cycle, which is extremely powerful. It's what's used in Denmark to kill people, right, is the basis of this cycle. Now, what if I put sound into that? Because last time we did sound. I'm not going to go through all of the different elements, because all the different, all the different principles, because there's some people like, there's some people don't like. We'll use one that's really kind of funny, just for fun afterwards, because we'll go back to the cycle of destruction. But if I add sound to it, I go here, and I go shoot. Wow. Okay, she even gets a head rush out of that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually going after the wake-up nerve. Well, actually, not really. I'm a little bit below the wake-up nerve. But we get a result. Now, one of the interesting ones is there's directional energy. Now, directional energy, these are all things that the more you train with it, you become aware of them. I'm breaking them down to think about them. But directional energy states, my favorite direction is north. Because, north is just, you want your life to be aimed north. But if I put my back to north and turn her around, because that's pretty close to north, turn her around, now I have water energy coming from the north to my back. So I can add the cycle of destruction to this fire, which is worse, but if I add it in here, it's really bad. Right? Now we're doing with pericardium. So I've got water energy, I've got pericardium. Now, see how much that one was worse now, because now I've got fire energy here. Let's switch it. This side, see that jump? Because this is a better stance for that particular one. So now I'm continuing to use 3 different principles in there. And nobody knows about that principle, because you don't realize that my back's facing this way, water's coming through me, my fat back is facing that way, south fire's coming through me. And I don't care about east and west, because I'm only interested, when I play with the cycle of destruction myself, I'm interested in the base elements, which are fire and water. Because water trumps everything, absolutely everything. When in doubt, you use water on the person. Okay? So here we go, we're slowly stacking principles up. Now, I can use a quadrant theory here too, right? Because come with just your foot just a little bit forward. Either one's fine. You know this one. She loves this one, so we'll do this one right there. Certain reaction, right? Well, that's a wood. That's gallbladder 41. That's wood. Right? I did the triple warmer and gallbladder at the same time. You can see the reaction. Yeah. Right? Her reaction is, and you can tell by the, because you'll get somebody to say, well, you talked to her about doing that beforehand. Those are the people that I usually flip off and kick out of the seminar. Mind you, I don't track people like that anymore. But I used to a long time ago. But the thing is, watch for the natural reaction of the body. Because when you watch that, there's a shock reaction to her body. Right? It's like you're startled almost. And that's brain dysfunction, which is what you're driving at in Kyusho is brain dysfunction. And I got that term from a gentleman who has a YouTube channel. I still hope he still does have it, because on YouTube it's hard to tell anymore.
Wasn't that a way to knock somebody out because you're tricking the brain?
Yeah. Well, that's what I think I credit him. His name is Mish. channel's Kyusho corner. I credit him with the term because I don't like the term knockout either.
No.
Because there's an implication that the person's laying there unconscious, right? Whereas brain dysfunction, they can be on their knees shaking their head. It's brain dysfunction. It's a better term for it, right? So what happens if we add just one more to that? And I'm not working hard to add them, right? You okay down there again? Switch feet?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, this is even worse because we're crossing the body, right? Across the body, it gets worse. So I'm putting a whole lot of fire into this fire, and then I've got water, fire, and I'm in within the diurnal cycle for the most part. And I completely, actually, because I'm still gallbladder here, this way. And then if I add, which is the sound for wood, to it, we intensify again. Right? Now we've taken 4 and put them on top of the 24-hour cycle. Now, from the dim Mach standpoint, which I wasn't going to cover in this, okay, let's suppose, well, we're still in pericardium time. Now, if I've done my vibrating palm training, she could be choking me this way. I touch pericardium, and I go into spleen this way, and I push the energy into spleen, and start stacking different things on top of that a little bit, then I'll blow at her aorta, and she won't make it. Right? Because the vibrating palm is about pushing energy, into the body. And the funny thing is you practice it, and you don't even know it, because in the yellow belt self-defense technique, you step back, you punch. And the other one, you step back and you come up and you pop the punch. Well, pop punch is a vibrating punch. So that, if I come up to somebody and I hit them really hard and push, they'll bruise badly here. If I pop it, there won't be a mark. And all the bruising will be about that far below the surface. Okay? Anyways, that's it for this thing. You guys can make partners, play with what we just did, see what you think. Thank you.